It was 2 years ago, around the holiday season, when a couple came and sat down at our restaurant and was having dinner, and we overheard that they couldn't find a Christmas tree. Everywhere they looked in town was sold out, and we sensed that they were disappointed by that, not having this emblem of the holiday season during their time in our little Christmas village of Breckenridge. Our maitre d' had been in the next town over earlier that day and knew that a store had some Christmas trees left. So he took the time to call the store and have them set aside a Christmas tree for this couple. We were able to tell them that in the course of their meal, and they felt seen and heard, and we all got to share in a moment of kindness and hospitality. The next year comes, and the same couple comes back to the restaurant and sits down for dinner. And about halfway through their meal, they come up to our maitre d' and give him a huge hug with tears in their eyes. And they share with him that on that day, a year ago, they had just lost someone really special to them. And through his act of kindness, they felt an increase in joy and happiness and hope for the year to come. And it's moments like these, among so many others, that have helped me answer the question, why? Why did I choose a career in hospitality and a career in restaurants? Now, I didn't grow up wanting to own restaurants. I always wanted to be a teacher. Ever since I was in 6th grade, I was motivated by a want to help people and to make a difference. And I pursued this career path, and eventually it fell away, and I was left working in the job that I had always worked in, restaurants. And at that time, it felt like a failure. And I was left with a feeling of worthlessness and purpose anxiety, and existed in this career purgatory for years. I was waiting to find my real job. But there was a tension there. I love working in restaurants. There is something so incredibly energetic and dynamic about being on the floor of a restaurant with other people whose sole purpose is to make other people happy and to take care of them. And I couldn't leave this business. And so I have spent the last few years of my life trying to connect with the purpose and the reason why. And what I've found is that a career in service has a deep meaning behind it that can make the world a better place, not only for the people who choose to dine with us, but also for the people who work in restaurants. And the two main avenues of long-term happiness that I would like to explore that are offered by a career in hospitality are talking with strangers and random acts of kindness. 30,000 people came to one of our restaurants in the second half of 2024. $30,000 people. When I learned that number, it was staggering. I realized the immense potential for human connection that exists in a restaurant. It is the nexus of connection. Old friends meet there. People from across the country come and spend 2 hours at a dining room table with us and connect. And we, as the hospitality workers, get a chance to meet new people every single night. And research done by Nicholas Epley has shown that whether you're a natural introvert or extrovert, that talking with strangers makes you happier. And it's not easy, and people challenge you, and we always have to struggle sometimes to start a conversation, but what I've found is that the more curious you are about other people, the richer your picture of the world is. You understand that every single person who's in the dining room or walking past you on the street has a life as rich and complicated and as complex as your own. And this feeling described as Sonder makes your human experience that much more rich, and it develops empathy and compassion, and it opens the door to acts of kindness. Just like the couple that I mentioned in the introduction who was dealing with something that we had no idea was going on in their life, we had the opportunity to be kind to them. And a Japanese study done a decade ago has shown that random acts of kindness, and particularly counting your acts of kindness over the course of 1 week, increases happiness. And kindness is my life's purpose. And when I realized that the career path that I had chosen, hospitality, was kindness in motion every single night, it crystallized my belief that working in restaurants can help make the world a better place. And it's my hope that people who work in restaurants for a short time, or for me, made it a career, can understand that your job has purpose. And you don't need to be ashamed of working in restaurants. And there is a deep meaning behind the work that we do. And for those of you who don't work in restaurant spaces, I hope that you take an opportunity to connect with a stranger tomorrow on the chairlift, or sitting on the plane, or on public transit, or any opportunity to be curious about someone and learn about who they are. And also find an opportunity to do an act of kindness and feel the helper's high, as it's described, this release of serotonin, dopamine, and oxytocin that makes you feel so good. I believe that restaurants are not only a place to nourish the body through food and drink, but they are a place to nourish the soul, not only for the guest, but for the person who decides to work in restaurants. Thank you.